There's an engine light on right over there, which I normally say means there's an engine in there. Check. Engine. So we're doing an OBD scan. We're using the Foxwell, the expensive one. Figure what the hell. So let's see what she says. It's cold in here. No worries, we got the heated seats on. I wonder why I got the light on there. Well, come on. Stop. Keep us. This is. Aha! EVAP. That would make sense because she couldn't put gas in it a couple days ago. So when you're putting gas in there, it's supposed to. The air's supposed to evacuate the tank, and it kept turning the nozzle off, and she was confused. It was kind of sadly funny because I was coming home, and I'm like, "Why are you with this Sunoco that we hate?" Or the BP or whatever the hell it is. And then I go over there and she's arguing with the guy that won't put gas in it. There's something wrong with the pump. And like, I come outside and I start putting the gas in. It's like, well, first of all, they took the credit card fine and it said, let's dispense gas. And then it would start, stop. But it had nothing to do with the pump. But, okay, well, we'll have to figure this one out. Well, for now, we'll just erase it. It cleared it. Like normally you have to go in and rescan it. I've come back to this screen and it automatically cleared it. So that's kind of cool. So we're going to go Google on that, but it was fun. Say that she appreciates the new headlights. They work really well. Wipers too, but being able to see at night's kind of nice. They are bright. I haven't driven it yet. I think I'm going to drive it this Saturday. She doesn't need a machine. Suggested checking the gas cap, which I did. It looks fine. I lubricated it. And it is said to check the purge valve, which is part of the intake. So it's in the intake. So I went to remove this. I took the Torx, of course. Got to have Torx. And what was funny is this is like all one big thing. So I didn't expect that. So I got to take this off. I must admit, in the 4 years we've owned this, 3 or 4 years, I've never taken this apart. So that's kind of cool. We'll get that popped right easy. So this is just like a U-shaped tube that connects from there to there. It doesn't do anything else. Definitely a little dirty here. This is the where the sparkulators are underneath there. This is the cassette, I guess. It's a cute little engine. Pulled that out before. So I'm going to assume that's the fuel rail. And it's I don't know where it is. I wish there was a picture. So we need our flashlight, but it should be attached somewhere to here. I'm expecting a hose like this to be attached to a valve. And then basically we can check the valve. So if I take it off and blow on it, it should be closed. And then if I put power on it, it should open. So that should be too difficult. This is aluminum. That's why it's not rusting, but the paint's coming off. It's been a long week. Whatchamacallit, winter already. So I'm going to get my flashlight out and take a look around there. I don't want to get too close to this thing. I keep getting, salt all over him here. But I'm pretty sure it's this guy right here. Looks like it's got a hose of some sort, air hose, and it's got electrical fitting. So I'm going to pop that off and see if that's it. But I'm pretty sure that's it. That's the only thing I can see that has a hose. This is the fuel line. It's got the fuel line connector on there. That pushes in and something pops out. But yeah, 10mm will get it out. Stainless steel bolt. And popped it off. This is a Bosch, which I didn't expect. Nice, good German company. So I'm going to Google that part number, but I'm pretty sure. Well, it was definitely closed. I guess I got to figure out how to put some power on there and see if she opens. Ugh, don't want to touch that. That's kind of nasty. We'll clean that off first. But this shouldn't be that expensive, and it wasn't that hard to get to. It was 3 bolts and then the 2 hose clamps. So, a little tip. Place some silicone spray on these, and then they slide right on. And of course that goes away. It doesn't harm anything. A couple Google searches showed that this is definitely the purge valve by the part number. So I've got a 2 amp setting on my charger. I've got my power probe, power fed. I got my little clip, because remember I got to get these little guys in here. Little guys. So I've got this. We'll clip this under there. And if I take my power probe, set to positive, so it's feeding positive. Oh, positive power. And if I touch that, you'll hear a little click. And it is indeed flowing. So it's not that valve then that's causing the problem. I am going to lubricate this with some silicone and slap it back in there, but it's a Bosch. Even though it's 12 years old, it still works. So I'm kind of glad we did that. Not quite. Maybe there's a loose connector or something on the end, like the hose isn't there, but this looks like it's in good shape. If I had a car lift that I could access, so I'll remind you that if I push this off, I gotta push it back on, and that wasn't fun. It took 2 of us. It's a heavy car. Anyhow, so I'm gonna put this all back together, and after I lubricate that, but I don't think that's the problem. I don't know what the problem is, but it's not that, so that's good, unless it's the wiring. I guess, no, I'm not going to. I just shoveled this off and shoveled some of this off. It was above freezing the last 2 days, so maybe there's a possibility I could get back to this. The next step is, well, I got to establish how much I got to grind out of this. I can definitely feel it coming up here as I go up. Obviously needs to get a little bit warmer because it's still a little cold out. Then I think once I round this corner here and fill this in a little more, well, anyhow, I can start putting in dirt here. So I had hoped 3 weeks ago that I could take some dirt and fill it in there, because the frost line really isn't here currently, because there's no dirt. Dirt adds insulation. So I needed to fill that up on the outside and the inside of the block, but not in the actual block holes, because we're going to use cement for that later. Obviously, at this point, it's a little bit irrelevant because it's been outside for 3 weeks and sub 20-degree weather at times. But yeah, getting excited to get back to this. I looked at the weather a couple weeks ago. It looked like it wasn't going to be above freezing for almost the entire month of February, but that isn't come to be fruition. But it's looking pretty bleak there if it was going to be another month before I could get back to this. So yeah, fill it up. Then once I got this dirt in there, I'm going to start taking the blocks, the pretty blocks, and start just laying them just loosely on top. I'll mortar them in when the weather is reliably above freezing and fairly decent, but then I can just pick my stuff up and start plopping it back here, so at least I can use the space again. It's kind of miserable over there, and I really need to figure out if I'm going to use those blocks, and if not, get rid of them. But yeah, it's a little cold out here. But this is Been frustrating not being able to work on it for the last month. Well, we have a new computer at work that was delivered in November of last year. And it's not supposed to look like that. Believe it or not, the system booted, but all the processors weren't running the right speed, so it performed poorly. By the way, that copper is from the heat sink on the other side. It got so hot that it melted the copper onto the chip. Wow. Now I've got a headache and feel like shit, but she's staying home today. I'm on get the dog outside. But I swear that something's arcing up there. I don't know if you can hear it. Enhance. What are those weird? Is it the groundwater? Yeah. You wonder about things like, oh, that's a branch. Something 3 times. It's definitely coming from up there. Enhance. I called them once because on my side it's covered in black paint, and then some of this side's covered in black paint. I'm like, I think it's going bad. It's turning black. And the guy came out. No, they just paint it with black paint, but not all the sides. Just you can see on this side, it's gray on that side and black on that side. It just doesn't make sense. I think it's full of shit. That's just me. A couple of thoughts on this state. I like this one. It says, you must remove yourself. I like the fact that it's a broken window here and they're heating the place, but holy cow, those are tall. That's 3 feet tall. And you can feel the cold air streaming in there. I've never seen nutcrackers like that. I assume they're nutcrackers. Maybe they're not. Who else got nutcrackers? Yeah, scary mouth. A lot of Christmas stuff. There's more upstairs. That's shiny. That is. Penguins. That's kind of cool. I think Joe's gonna come tomorrow. She might like it here. Ooh, 1,000? Well, that's over with. I really thought the world was gonna end that day. Scary shit. It's definitely got an odor down here. Yeah, I bet that one's not for sale. Why's there dirt over there? That's kind of creepy. I really likes those chairs. Nice pool table. Penguin. Definitely a theme here. Jaws. Peter Benson, White Shark. Jaws. That's the original. Lots of shark things. Another one. Jaws. 1, 2, 3. Got all the Jaws here. And some sharks. More shark stuff. Sharks. And you got sharks. I guess Jamie likes sharks. Shark cells. Sharks. I didn't even notice the tropical theme over there. Definitely very fishy. A lot of Saturday morning. It's about 11:30. Joe's been sick all last 2 days in bed. I've been watching TV next to her. I don't feel good, but not as bad as her. Guess we need to go out there and shovel the driveway. Let that sun bake in a little bit. I'd hoped that it was going to be warmer today. Maybe even do some concrete stuff. But we got to get this outside. It wants to go, and no, there's no going right now. Dogs just running around out wild. There, yeah. Just, they don't control their dogs. Like I said, she wanted to go out. It's a rare activity for her just to be standing there. I don't know what she's doing. I think the snow's crunchy because it's 20 degrees out here and sunny, so it's been melting and then crusting. That's great. I'll stop making a video record of her shitting in the neighbor's yard. Come on. Come on. Play with my shovel. Crunch. A little crunchy there, huh? Observations. 1. She's happy. 2. It's already started dissipating. 3. there's no heated handle on that shovel. Somebody should be wearing gloves. I just don't know. Hopefully this melts off. I think it's still going to be sunny enough. If that happens. Product review. Last fall, I dragged my wife to the Arborwear store. It's a store in Chagrin Falls. It's unique because they make clothes for climbing trees and cutting them down. So they're very heavy-duty clothes. Kind of expensive, but it was their sale. And these were in their discount area. But it's hard to tell you, but see how they fit over the boots nice? That's Arborwear. And they got real pockets, like man pockets with some mesh in there, which I like. And you don't have any, thing there. They just have these side loops. So your pants don't fall down. You just grab a side there. So it's one of those, it goes around belt like that on the back side. And you just tug on the old clippers and you're good. They're handy. So it's been, relatively warm last year till the very end, or the beginning of this year. So I've been wearing them last couple weeks, and yeah, I like them. I don't think I'd pay $100 a piece, but I certainly didn't. So I approve. Also got the shirt, the jacket too, like a hoodie, and it's really thick. Yeah, I've been wearing that as well. It's gray though, so it doesn't hide the dirt. Although salt shows up very nice on these. Before I hit play, she was just sitting there nice. Took the tarp off, took the snow off, took some of the water and the ice off, just let this dry out. That is stiff as a board. It's frozen stiff, so we're gonna let that warm up. It's only supposed to get another mid-30s today. It's supposed to get up to 40 tomorrow and 50 on Monday. So we're gonna do the right thing. We're gonna put a level on that and see how far off that is. And this I think is the high spot, but we'll determine that. But can't really pour concrete today or mortar, do anything. It's cold out here. Looks warm from the inside, sitting in your bed. Where should we now? It's not as bad as we thought, because you would think, oh, that's in the bubble. But the problem is, that's with mortar on there. But that being said, my delta's not that high off. I've been thinking about this for the past month, about this height problem. And I think if I just trim off with the concrete saw, just like 1/8 of an inch off the bottom, like on this block, then I'll have the mortar depth. What it's supposed to be, I'm not quite sure. So I have been using the mortar depth because I got 2 mortars here, the ground and then between the block, to kind of get things level. But, well, we got to get more blocks on test that, but that's not too bad. So the concrete saw advantage is I'm only taking off, that much concrete versus trying to get in there and remove, because you can't just, I guess I could, but it'd be close to damn impossible just to route out the little parts. But with the concrete saw, I can just trim off 1/4 of an inch. And I think it is important though that I do it on the bottom. I don't know why, but I want to get it pretty down there because it may not be completely straight cuts, so I don't want it like showing. Some of the block I think is going to show up here because of the way that things is, because the ground comes down here, or yeah. So damn, it's bright out here. I'm gonna go eat my lunch. What? Nah, she found a mouse hole in there. The mice, of course, love that because it's relatively dry nicely. Took a shovel and put it in the dirt, and I didn't think this would be the case, but it actually isn't all frozen. Shoveled pretty nicely. It must be because of the heat's coming from the earth and the snow is insulating it. So I peeled the thing off a little bit and started filling those up. I've been poking them down with that stick right there, and I started from the insides because when I'm standing on there, I'd rather have these full. So I'm gonna do a few more shovel loads. Got to go in and heat the hands again. Get cold out here. I got gloves, but they're pretty thin. It is fun watching the steam come off those. I had a dog. She's been spending the last 30 minutes in there, so that's great. She probably smells like mouse house. It's a perfect smell. I'm done for today, but wish I had been able to do that a month ago, 3 weeks ago. But this is obviously cured. It's been weeks, and we'll just let it sit. I realize that this side's higher than this side, though I think that's level. So I should put a level across here. But even here, I don't know if you can tell that's angled. So I got some weirdnesses over here. If you remember, I ran out of concrete and I overfilled it here because I put 6 bags in. I probably only needed 4. Then it is what it is, but that helps. I'll put the tarp back on. So my drainage, of course, is right in my sphere of influence. Yeah, so it's gonna get wet, but I'll put this over, put the tarp back on, at least button it up and let it bake. Sawzall, which I thought was in one of these pack out, and it's actually in that one, which slid underneath the car. Believe it or not, I have a second one because I thought I was buying a Fuel, which is the next line up that I regret not buying, and I ended up buying the same thing, only the newer model, the same thing. So I'm probably just going to sell that in the interwebs or something. But got this out. But inside of that container was a battery that's been sitting around. So I took my battery and went, oh, wait, there's no juices. I plugged it in and went, good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, good, bad. You know, that flashlight. Basically, if it doesn't sense a battery, it doesn't charge. So it thinks the battery's bad, and they prefer I just buy one. So you take 2 pieces of sheet metal, you jam them in here, and right now, that one was fully charged, and I'm just trying to jump start the battery with a good battery. So we'll plug this in here, and hopefully in the last 5 minutes or 4 minutes, it's charged enough to then allow it to see that there's a battery, and it will charge the battery. And sure enough, that actually worked, because a few moments ago it was flashing green and red, which is the old fucked up battery. So cool. I've never done that before. I've never had to on a Milwaukee, but I've got some other batteries, some DeWalt's, I think, that I need to do that in Craftsman. So that was cool. That worked easily. That was just a piece of sheet metal hanging around. Yeah, sheet metal. So I was out here with the dog, and there's a playground right over there. It used to be a school. So 20 years ago, there was a playground with lots of slides and stuff, and then they demoed it. And then about 5 years ago, they built, it's kind of hard to tell. I think it's white over there, but yeah, there we go. So there's a, gazebo and stuff. So anyhow, Sophie doesn't use this anymore. I built this when she was 6. That's where she broke her leg. So I think today I'm just going to try and demo that piece there. And then I want this piece, because I think I'm going to temporarily set it over there during the rains as a temporary tarp over it, because that's 12 feet across. So, and then I'm going to take this, the slide out and other things. I'll donate those. This is a kit, basically added a bunch of wood, and it has like the metal pieces there and there. So I can donate that, and just, nobody's going to use it. And if they do, park. That looks better. The monkey bars are gone. Those are the posts. The rounds are over there. And I wish my past self would talk to my current self, which I guess would have been my future self, and not put concrete on there. I always thought I could just throw a rock down there, but apparently I put concrete down there. This one obviously came out, so we're gonna take that and put it in the trash. That's why we have a wheelie bin, because as long as they don't have to get out, they don't care what's in the trash. This one, however, while she shakes, she doesn't seem to be moving like that one. It just took me a few minutes of whack, 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 whack. Maybe this will. I guess I can take a winch and there, but after I cut this, I think I may call it a day. It is kind of chilly out, but I got some accomplished. Boy, does this look better. This has always just been, nobody's used this again in at least 10 years, if not longer. She's 25, so then 15. She's 6. So let's say 15 years it hasn't been used properly. Then if it's still nice out tomorrow, I'll go ahead and get that out of there. It's coming down. It's almost easier than building. I don't know what she's doing over there. She was playing with the neighbor's dogs. The neighbors don't like that. I don't understand why. She's just sticking her nose underneath the fence. Current self decided to just cut it off and call it a day. Future self can take care of it if I want, or do nothing. Yeah, so we just have to toss that in the trash. Okay, well, that was fun. dog had a good time. I don't know what the hell she's doing. She's a busybody. Came out of nowhere. Some sort of flowery thing. I think it tells time. TikTok. The time has come to put in my long pipe. So hopefully, when I hook this up there, it doesn't smash into the wall like this. I can actually angle it the way I want. So we're gonna do some deconstruction here and put in my long pipe. It took almost 2.5 weeks for this to come from the Amazons. And yes, I think I overcompensated. I think I shot it out a little bit too far. Probably the 6-inch one would work, but nope. We had to go with the long pipe. And for whatever reason, it goes in almost 3 inches before it actually comes out. And so when I was looking at this, I'm like, it looks like it's 2 inches, but the reality is it's only gonna stick out, you know, that much. So, anyhow, I had to use the vice grips to get out of it. I'm gonna use this soft grip plier to put this one on, but I couldn't get out of that. The tape is there to keep the thing from falling down. So the big question is whether I'm gonna use that piece or am I gonna use the new one that it came with. I'm gonna use the tape. Yeah, I'm gonna use that one. That's fancier. Hopefully it's farther. Now I can move this anywhere I want. So that's kind of good. So now we'll figure out where to put some tape. Again, the tape's to keep that from falling off, though. You'd have to go to a real far distance, but you do notice it does tilt that way. I don't know if that's by design. Then I gotta find the Allen key to fit this and tighten that up. But yeah, that's much better, I think. At least now the hose doesn't interfere with the, and I gotta have that, because I just don't have enough. Probably should have bigger shelf in there for the second one, but we didn't ask for it, so it beats the shelf I had before. It was a success. This is out of the way. I can move this back and forth, and I can use the hose without having to pull it out. I was able to move these things back up, put some more space in there. So yeah. Fortunately, I was able to find a 2mm with a long extension on there. I wasn't sure if it was a 2.5, 3, or whatnot, but that worked out well for tightening the little guy on the bottom there. Enhance. So, cool. Well, let's go take a nap now. I put a piece of bacon next to him while he was sleeping. See how long it takes him. Yeah, found. Nope. Why won't the dogs eat the bacon? You already had the chance, doggy. Well, probably the fact he has no teeth. Well, didn't stop him. It's supposed to be in the 40s today, but it's gonna be in the 30s. So yeah, we're trying to investigate why her purge valve isn't working. So we're underneath the vault, and I don't think I've been underneath here for a while. That's the purge thing. There's electronics to it, so we're gonna check this connector, maybe remove that, and then see what it does. It looks like it's got a connector there, and probably a connector right there. I can't film and see. It's looking a little rusty down here. That's the battery pack. She's T-shaped. I don't know if you can tell. I need to spray some rust preventative down here. The body's made out of aluminum, so this could all rust apart. Stainless steel exhaust looks good. A little bit of rust on there. Okay, well, that's nothing to it but to do it. It looks like this whole plastic thing slides off once I light. There we go. Push this out. This should just slide forward. It's got a line here. God damn it, light. I don't know what that is. It doesn't feel electrical. It's got some magical connectors on there. None of them are the same. This seems to slide out. It doesn't want to slide out. And then we got the connector back here. And this goes over there. I don't know. Oh, right in the eye. That's the best. Looks like maybe this goes to here. So it's a valve here. I don't. There's multiple valves here. Goddamn light. So it looks like we got one here, here, and here. That's great. Now what is this one? That's brake. I don't even know where to begin here. Maybe it's by charging my flashlight. First I thought it was this connector, but that's not it. This is the times you wish you had a car lift. Fuck. this comes out, this comes out, this comes out, this comes out. Let's remove the whole thing, but I don't want to remove the whole thing. I mean, what is this? This looks line-ish, and that goes up to the guest tank. Okay, every time I knock the salt off, it goes right in my eye, so we should probably squint more, I think. Okay, I got a plan. My plan is, I don't know, but it's waited until today because I thought it would be 40, as I mentioned before. So my plan is to get rid of the headlight, charge that, and go to this light. Slide underneath there with the cardboard instead of the creeper because the creeper doesn't do the elevation very well. It's a pain in the ass. Don some safety glasses. And we'll pick the salt out later. And then we're going to spray all the connectors with the lubricant. That's silicone. And then let it sit for a little bit and see if we can take these apart. I'm also going to Google how to take these connectors apart because they're 4 different connectors and they're 4 different connector styles. Of course, the electrical is different than the other ones, but you would think they'd all be the same, but they're completely different. Now, I understand making the different sizes, which means you're not going to hook up the wrong ones. But these are molded right to the spot. So, hey, you're not going to cross. You're not going to take one that goes here and put it 12 inches over there. So, I need to get a screwdriver out, too, to see if I could loosen the whole canister and slide it over. But even if I slide it over, I got to get the connectors off. I can't really pull it out, do the way that it is. It's just to drive it forward so I can close the garage door, leave this on for an hour, and make it warm in here. I also got my torpedo heater over there. And I got a kerosene heater someplace. I'm not quite sure where that is. It's an Aladdin. It's actually very cool. It's an antique. Last time I tried it, didn't work so good. Plus it gives you the fumes. But I need to figure out if I'm going to donate it, keep it, sell it. I haven't used it in 10 years. More than that, Jim was alive. I think this is 2011. Anyhow, so I could just move this forward and then back it onto the ramps. That would be the smart thing to do and close the door. But we won't do that. Updates. Yes, you push this tab in and slide it forward. This one, which I broke, you push in, and it releases that. This one, these 2 tabs had to be pressed in, and that releases. This one, you pull this down or up, or I don't know which way it went. I guess it must have gone. I don't know. And then this one just is a squeeze on the top. Now, that's what I was really looking for, because I read in several YouTube things or Google searches that these get corroded. So, unfortunately, like I said, still got this valve, and I don't think that's a valve, and this thing. No, it's brake line. So I think it's this one and this one. So, but we got this out so we can testolate it. You know, like I said, I don't know. You're not going to, these are 2 different sizes. Don't need to be different connectors. This is electrical. That I don't know why they had to have a different process. So yeah, it's not going to be 40 degrees today. So there's no green, there's no discoloration. Those seem to be good. I can blow air into all these nozzles, so this doesn't appear to be clogged or anything. They call this a charcoal canister. The other amusing thing is, well, it says it's a GM part. That valve isn't. That's definitely made in Germany. So we're going to take this inside and clean it up. There's 3 sensors here, so that's telling me a couple things. Usually there's power and then there's ground. But by having 3, that means that something's sensing whether or not it's moving or whether it's working probably. So it's a smart switch, so to speak. I'm going to take it inside and wash it. I'm getting about 3 to 4 ohms across there. If I go to the 2 outer, I get 5. Then it's 3.5 and 4-ish. So we're going to see. But I think this one's working fine. I don't want to put power onto it, but, well, I do, but I don't know which pins to put the power across, and I don't want to short out the sensor and then burn that out and then have to replace the whole freaking thing, because I think this whole thing is like $300 if you buy it from the dealership, or $180 if you don't, and I don't think you can buy just the switch itself. So, yeah, we're closing things up. I wish it was 40.